living a healthier and longer life. Today with the Minister of Wellness on The Bernie Hayes Show. Welcome back. My name is Bernie Hayes, and with me is the Minister of Wellness, Nate Jordan. Nate, welcome back.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure.
You're a regular here now, and it's so nice. So nice to see you.
Yes, sir.
And you're doing many, many things.
Yes, sir. Yes, I've been hosting health seminars, health fairs here in St. Louis, Missouri. And the last event we had, May 4th, 300 people showed up from across the nation.
Wow, from across the nation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From across
wonderful.
the nation. Seattle, Atlanta, Georgia, Baltimore. People came from all over, and it was what I call a real health fair. No junk food, no conventional needles and pills and potions. All the vendors there were helping people naturally, support health naturally, which is the way it should be, tapping into the healing system that God gave us naturally, using food as medicine and lifestyle, of course.
Was that at I See Me?
No, sir. This one was at Harris Stowe.
Okay.
It was at Harris Stowe State University because I See Me couldn't hold the amount of people that we had. And I'm having another one at the Polish Heritage Center January the 4th.
Okay. Polish Heritage on 20th Street.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
It's wonderful, Nate. You've been traveling a lot, too.
Yes. I go all over the nation spreading the truth about health, teaching people that the answer to your prayers for healing is through the medicine foods of the Most High and through the way that we live. And it's been tremendous. I've been blessed to be the minister. Well, I have dozens of success stories now across the globe. I have success stories now in different countries where people are watching the material that I put out on my YouTube channel, The Minister of Wellness, and their lives are being transformed. And then organizations and churches all over, they book me to come in and speak. And it's nothing like a live event, nothing like hearing me speak live. And that's why I encourage people. I know it's early in the year, but again, my next live event will be January the 4th at the Polish Heritage Center. Don't want to miss it.
First of the year, okay. Are they still trying to suppress the truth? I mean, the chemical companies and the food companies and the pharmaceuticals, are they still trying to keep you silent?
People, unfortunately, what they have to do is two things. Here's how they suppress the truth. They control the education that the medical doctors receive. Medical doctors are trained to be pretty much legal drug dealers. So they've controlled the education of the people that are supposed to help people get better. And then they give the food industry the psychiatric drugs that make people addicted. So it's a two-headed monster here. You have the people who are addicted to what's killing them, and then they go to the people that are supposed to help them, and then they're just trained to issue out pills. And that's the force that I'm fighting. But even when I give people the truth, again, their addiction defends and supports what's killing them. So
pharmaceuticals and the drug companies, some of the health food stores themselves, I see, don't want to get your word out because you're dealing with the truth, I assume.
Right. Yes, sir. I'm giving people the information to take control over their own lives. I want you to take care of your own health, to take care of your own life. Get away from this processed junk food industry that's causing a tremendous amount of suffering, and just specifically focusing on black men. As a black man, 400 black men die every 3 days from heart disease, a disease that's 100% preventable and reversible using nutrition. And then we have a tremendous epidemic of violence going on right now, right here in St. Louis, Missouri. And none of these organizations are interested in having me talk about how violence and mental illness is linked to what we eat. It's really frustrating.
Wow. The book and DVD says how nutritional excellence can prevent and reverse heart disease and high blood pressure. Tell us about that. These are things we can get right now, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. On my website, the Minister of Wellness, I have a full online store. But yes, heart disease is 100% preventable. And if you do eat yourself into having heart disease, it can be reversed. Now, we was talking about before we came on about fish. People have a lot of misconceptions about fish and chicken. And unfortunately, in 2019, we have to adjust the diet for now. In 2019, there is nothing worse. There is nothing more polluted than you can eat than fish.
Why is that? The nutritionists and the doctors and the health food people tell us that fish is one of the best things you can eat. Fish and fowl. Fowl and fish and fowl.
Right.
Stay away from the fried foods. Go to fish and fowl.
Right, exactly. But again, and they also have a stake in people continuing their say. Now they contradict themselves with fish because they'll tell pregnant women don't eat fish because of the pollutants in the water. Their prescription drugs, toxins, mercury, dioxin, engine fluid, all of that is being dumped in our waters. Well, guess who's eating that? The fish. And the level of mercury and dioxin and other heavy metals is very strong in the fish flesh. You absolutely, and that's why they tell pregnant women don't eat fish, because it can damage your developing child. Well, if it can damage the developing child, why should adults eat it? So no, when you consume fish, you can immediately feel it in your memory. All of that toxins, it'll eat you from the inside out. So a heart disease reversal diet is 100% plant rich. The fatty acids that the fish has, it got from the sea algae. We can extract the fatty acids, skip the pollutants in the fish, and get the fatty acids we need. And that's why I sell supplements. I have a full online store where people can get everything they need. Nothing that has a mother should be consumed. No fish, no chicken, none of that to reverse heart disease.
Is that in these books here? The nutritional excellence can prevent and reverse heart disease and high blood pressure?
Yes, sir. That's my DVD. My DVD, the full lecture, and it supports the material in the book. You want to get both. You want to make an investment, get the DVD, and then get the book that has delicious plant-based recipes. I assure you, you can reverse advanced heart disease in 12 weeks.
How can we get them?
theministerofwellness.com. theministerofwellness.com. Click under store, and you can see my full spectrum. I have books, DVDs, and supplements on 3 different pages, theministerofwellness.com.
Is there a phone number they can associate with that?
Yes, 202 if you need help with ordering or placing an order online. My team can help you by calling 202-753-9954.
Wow. Also, another book and companion piece to the DVD, How to Preserve Type 2 Diabetes in 30 Days, Utilizing the Power of a Nutrient-Dense Plant-Rich Diet. Tell us about that.
Diabetes is dangerous. It's the deadliest disease. It contributes a high level of sugar, strips out nutrients in the brain that controls behavior. So the higher the level of diabetes, the higher the level of crime and violence in the community. It can be reversed in 30 days or less. You just have to learn to get rid of your food addiction. It's imperative that people go to my YouTube channel, The Minister of Wellness, and watch my 12-part series on food addiction. But yes, diabetes is easy to reverse. I have success stories all across the nation of people. A sister showed up to my live event that I had December of this past year at the Omega Center. We had over 100 people showed up across the nation, so I could motivate them to kick off the new year, and she reversed her diabetes.
So everything associated with you is through the Ministry of Wellness?
Yes, sir.
That's
I'm the only one.
Right. That's Facebook?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Twitter?
Right. All over. The whole World Wide Web. The Minister of Wellness.
Minister of Wellness.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Nathaniel Jordan. Nathaniel, we're going to take a short break here. And I assume everyone can see the mugs on the table here. This is from Webster University. This one is from Webster University, and this is from Harris-Stowe State University, where you did your last lecture. And this is Bernie Hayes Show, where you're sitting right now.
Yes, sir.
And Reverend Larry Rice is still trying to reopen 1411 Locust Street, downtown St. Louis, Missouri. But yet still, because it's not open, it's still feeding people, still taking care of them, still taking care of the homeless downtown. But we want you to have a mug and find out how to get Reverend Larry Rice's brand new book. You know, and instead of me telling you about it, it's so much easier if he does it, because he does it so much better than I. Here's Reverend Larry Rice.
For many years, Bernie Hayes has been on the front lines leading the charge for social justice. It's been a great privilege of mine to get to know Bernie personally, and I want us, in celebration of all that Bernie has done, to share with you one of these very special Bernie Hayes mugs and a copy of a book, Through the Fires, which tells you about the battle for social justice at 1411 Locust, where gentrifiers came into the neighborhood and literally shut down the church at the New Life Evangelistic Center at 1411 Locust Street because they didn't want those kind of people in the neighborhood. Direct bigotry. Now, if you'll request this mug and share a gift of $25 or more, we'll send you this book, 328 pages that go into great detail on all the manipulating behind the scenes and on the scenes that took place in order for the city of St. Louis to consider it a nuisance because there were hurting and homeless people in the neighborhood. We would love to see a beloved community that when development takes place in a community, instead of the poor and the elderly and the homeless being pushed out, it's a beloved community that welcomes people from all over, regardless of their racial background or who they might be. They're people made in the image of God. Bernie Hayes has fought for that for years. And now we're teaming up with Bernie in a very special and powerful way. If you'll just call in our 421-302, or you can send your special gift and just say, please send me the Bernie Hayes mug. We will include in that Through the Fire, historical book that I've written on how the St. Louis gentrifiers tried to destroy a church because of its homeless congregations. You know, there's a common saying that if your neighbor's house on fire, yours in danger also. The bigotry, the hypocrisy in the city of St. Louis affects all of us. I thank God for Bernie, who has continued to point it out and root it out. Now we're teaming up with Bernie. When you request the Bernie Hayes mug and share a gift of $25 or more to New Life Evangelistic Center, I'll include my book, Through the Fire. We'd love to hear from you. Share now. P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri.
My guest is the Minister of Wellness, Nathaniel Jordan. And we talked about how nutritional excellence can prevent and reverse heart disease, high blood pressure. Nathaniel Jordan on this book here. But Nate, we didn't go through the book. So let's super veggie juice, greens and beans, blended salad. So these are actually recipes, are they not?
Yes. People, is no loss of pleasure. The only loss is our addiction, that these foods, it's an act of sorcery that's been committed against people's brains, to where people believe that their real medicine is rabbit food. That's insane. They call this is your high blood pressure lowering medicine is in plants. The drug industry strips the real medicine, manipulates it, turns it into a pill that comes with a myriad of side effects. Because you know there's a massive recall going on with high blood pressure poisons, massive recall. But people, the food addiction has made us so insane that people think the fake stuff is their medicine and that the real stuff is rabbit food. So there's no loss of pleasure.
I mean, do you eat this? I mean, you look great. You told me you've lost 100 pounds. And how do you go about your daily diet? Because I know they can't get these recipes in a regular restaurant. How do you sustain yourself? How do you?
Yes, you have to make your own food. You have to make your own food. So I'm blessed to have a great wife, and she prepares our meals, makes her April.
April.
Yes, and she lost 60 pounds.
Okay.
Lost 60 pounds in reverse stage 2 hypertension herself. But we make our food at home. No added salt, no sugar, no oils. And I'm operating on such a high level of knowledge, brother. There's no way I could go back. That would be crazy. I feel good. I look the way I want to look. And I know everybody watching wants to look and feel good, and you can do it. And we have a force at work of people, I call them food zombies, where they persecute people trying to change. Don't let them do it. Don't let people keep you from doing what's best for you just because they're unable to do it.
In this book here, how to reverse the type 2 diabetes in 30 days, utilizing the power of a nutrient-dense, plant-rich diet. I turned to page 61, and here it is, salt. It says, don't salt your food, no salt. Sodium chloride is a poison. Look at the table of elements. It does not matter what form it comes in, pink, purple, black, multicolor. I don't care if you mined it from the seas and the planet Jupiter. Salt is sodium chloride, and sodium chloride is a poison. Expand on that.
Yes, salt, when it comes to heart disease, salt, it's a dehydrator. It pulls nutrients out of the blood vessels. It pulls too much blood into the blood vessels, causing the blood vessels to overstretch, injuring them. It speeds up atherosclerosis, leading to heart attacks and strokes. It damages the blood vessels in the brain, leading to hemorrhagic stroke, which is very high in countries such as Japan and China, where they oversalt the food. It causes stomach cancer. Half of all Black Americans have heart disease or high blood pressure. Over 90% of all Americans over the age of 65, regardless of race, because this is a universal issue, have high blood pressure. We are salting our food. In countries like in rural Kenya, where they do not salt their food, 85-year-olds have the same blood pressure as the 2-year-olds.
Wow, that's unbelievable. And the next DVD and book is called Prevent, Reverse All Disease, 100% Naturally. It's another thing authored by Nathaniel Jordan, the Minister of Wellness. Tell us about these.
Yeah, so the DVD is a lecture I did at Howard University with legendary TV host Rock Newman. I did this at Howard University. So it's a general lecture that I do usually when I'm booked to speak by different organizations and churches. Usually it's this lecture that they want, because it's a lecture where I focus on the 3 top killers, and then I also touch on mental illness. So this is an excellent book for those of you all, and DVD, for those of you all battling heart disease, diabetes. You have multiple conditions. And again, it's perfect for if you're unable to book me to come speak at your organization, get the DVD and you can play it on the big screen. And it's an excellent lecture for large audience, because usually people are suffering with multiple conditions.
First of all, tell us how we can get you and the DVDs and the books. How
Yes.
can we reach you?
So the ministerofwellness.com. theministerofwellness.com is my website. You can find my keynote lectures that I do on my website. You can find all the seminars and the details, and you can contact me right through my website. You can buy all of my books and DVDs on my website, and you can also call me and speak with someone from my team at Ministry of Wellness, Inc., 202-753-9954.
You also said that this criminal violence, the violence that's so rampant in our community, also has an association with diet.
Absolutely. This has been known for years, hypoglycemia. You shoot the brain up with sugar, and that sugar drops out of the brain, and it causes behavior disorders. They've gone into schools with troubled youth. They've gone into prisons. They've changed their diet just a little bit and see a drastic improvement in behavior. Our behavior is controlled by our brain, and our brain is controlled by what we eat. I don't understand why it is so difficult. Well, I do understand why it's so difficult for people to accept that. It's because of food addiction. So it's a pipe dream, brother, that we can reduce this crime wave without connecting mental illness to diet and violence, depression, anxiety.
So you have a DVD for that too. It says Wellness Genocide, the Minister of Wellness by Diet, Genocide by Diet, how junk food is creating an epidemic of mental illness.
Yes, sir.
And violence in the Black community.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's the most serious topic that I have. Serious topic that I have. And we are facing an apocalyptic time as a nation, because we are detached from the fact that our brain needs phytochemicals from plant foods to function properly. Depression, anxiety, bouts of sadness, suicidal tendencies, homicidal tendencies. We are destroying the brains of our children, putting them on dangerous psychiatric drugs, and the psychiatric drugs put them in a hallucinogenic state, and they go shoot up their school, and everybody running around like chickens with their head cut off trying to figure out what's going on with our children. Why are they so violent and angry and depressed? And it starts with diet. It starts with that high sugar diet, this processed Franken food diet we're feeding our children.
Why have not the St. Louis Police Department and the St. Louis County Police Department and other police facilities and law enforcement agencies around the country embraced you?
Because they're all food zombies, and that they're all food addicts. They're food addicts. The people that are trying, so we have our police department here in St. Louis City, they go out and give the kids ice cream. That's ridiculous. They're giving obese, sick children ice cream full of sugar and dairy that comes from cows raised in horrendous, abominable conditions. There should be a protest about that. But everybody's a food addict. So I'm fighting against everyone that they're all food addicts. So all the leaders of the organizations that are supposed to help our community, they're all food addicts. So it's like talking to a wall sometimes, Brother Hayes.
Okay. We're at the New Life Evangelistic Center. Our new address, in case you didn't know, is 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. But the facility at 1411 Locust Street is still trying to reopen. And Reverend Larry Rice and his crew, ministers and volunteers, are down there each and every day. And not only are they trying to reopen the center, but they're taking care of those homeless people in that area. They're giving them food and water and clothing. They're providing a shelter for them in this hot weather. But we need your help and support because the programs that were serviced down there are now provided here at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. And you can visit us here, 2428 Woodson Road. But most of all, to continue these programs, you can invest in New Life Evangelistic Center with a tax-free donation of Post Office Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, 63166. Or you may go online at www.newlifeevangelisticcenter, that's one word, newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. And MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Discover Card, that's an investment that takes less than 2 minutes. And it provides the program and services that we so well deserve here at New Life Evangelistic Center to help people have a new life. Back with Nathaniel Jordan after this.
Hello, I'm Larry Rice. Let me write you a creation prescription at this particular time. A prescription for healing, a prescription for hope. And that prescription is spending 30 minutes to an hour outside, experiencing God's wonderful creation. Job, in the middle of all of his affliction, let down by family and friends, when taken and beholding God's wonderful creation, experienced a healing in his soul. Read it yourself in Job chapter 39 through 41. Till finally Job declared, before I heard about you, but now I really see you, God, experience you in a new and powerful way. Paul speaks of how Christ holds all things together in Colossians chapter 1, starting at verse 15. Get up now, go outside, spend some time in creation, experience God's healing power in your spirit. Let him lift that high blood pressure and heal you from that stress and that anxiety as you take this creation prescription and move in the wonders of all of God's great creation.
We'll return to our guests after this Black History moment. Our subject today, W.C. Handy, born November 16th, 1873 in Florence, Alabama, an African-American composer who changed the course of popular music by integrating the blues idiom and then fashionable ragtime music. Among his best-known works is naturally the classic St. Louis Blues. Handy was a son and grandson of a Methodist minister, and he was educated at Teachers Agricultural and Mechanical College in Huntsville, Alabama, now called Alabama A&M University. Going against family tradition, he began to cultivate his interest in music at a young age and learned to play several instruments, including the organ, piano, and guitar. He was a particularly skilled cornetist and trumpet player. Unable to find a publisher for the songs that he was beginning to write, Handy formed in partnership with Harry Pace and founded Pace and Handy Music Company, later to become Handy Brothers Music Company. Handy died in New York City, March 28, 1958. W.C. Handy.
Now you can take NLEC TV anywhere as you put the NLEC TV app on your iPhone or mobile device. NLEC TV is the innovative TV station that's on the cutting edge of community service. On NLEC TV, you'll discover wholesome family, community, renewable energy, and inspirational programming. Those needing energy assistance, food, clothing, or freedom from the cycle of homelessness will find that plus much more on NLEC TV. Now, you can receive NLEC TV by going to 24.2 on your television set or putting the NLEC TV app on your iPhone or mobile device. For further information, call 314-436-2424 or go to nlecstl.org. That's nlecstl.org.
And welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. My guest is the Minister of Wellness, Nathaniel Jordan. Nathaniel, Bob Dimler, our producer and writer and promoter and so forth, cameraman and everything here at New Life, mentioned about the side effects from when you read the labels on drug products. And even when you see on television that says this may cause death and so forth. We only have a few minutes left, but tell us about that. And I also want to talk about this, the hamburgers, about DNA and hamburger. Could you grab those up in 3 minutes?
Yes, sir. The pharmaceutical industry is evil. They're evil. They sell drugs, fake drugs that come from plants that cause the diseases they're supposed to be protecting against. Cholesterol-lowering drugs cause cancer, heart disease. When they rip people's chest open and put stents in arteries that didn't even cause the heart disease. They give them all the heart medications cause cancer. There's a massive voluntary recall on high blood pressure poisons. These are poisons. People are poisoning themselves with food, and then they go to the pharmaceutical industry and then they poison them with drugs. So people they poison themselves and then go get poisoned by what I call the death care industry. Very sad situation. The meat, the processing of the hamburger meat is very sloppy process. And so they fingernails and skin tissue, it gets placed inside of the hamburger meat. But even before it gets there, the way they raise the cows are consuming a tremendous amount of feces because they're being raised like machines, huddled together like machines. And then, of course, the manufacturing centers are very filthy. The FDA, there's no regulation. And so you have rats, mice, and all sorts of animals coming in, and they'll process them and add them to the meat.
Wow, that's just frightening. So what's the solution?
The solution is the Genesis 129 diet, returning to the old paths where the good way is, where we can find rest for our souls. The Most High created us. He knows the foods we should eat. He knows what we should not be eating. Genesis 129, a nutrient-dense, plant-rich diet, what is commonly called the Daniel fast. He was living in Babylon, and he made a commitment to eat the medicine foods of the Most High. And I'm imploring everyone, for the sake of your brain and the health of you and your children, to do the same.
How can we reach you?
The ministerofwellness.com has all of my information. I have a full online store, all the supplements you need, the books, the DVDs, the ministerofwellness.com. If you have trouble with anything, with placing an order, my team is on standby to answer your questions, 202-753-9954.
And starting the year off January the 4th?
January the 4th.
Where?
Go ahead and make your plans. Polish Heritage Center, Real Health Fair. If you want to be a holistic vendor, reach out to me. We're looking for holistic vendors, vegan food vendors. Polish Heritage Center, January the 4th. You have until Labor Day for the $15 early bird special.
Wonderful. Nate, always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Always.
So good to see you.
Yes,
and
sir.
thank you so much. And I'm going to read the DVDs
Yes.
and watch the DVDs and read the books. And I sincerely hope that you will too. I'm Bernie Hayes, and don't forget now, you must support Reverend Larry Rice and the New Life Evangelistic Center. We're 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri, 63114. Come visit us. I'm Bernie Hayes. Have a great day.